today's sessions of materials management. Today we'll be discussing unit 10, that is location and layout of the warehouse. Imagine a football field, football stadium, and imagine an Olympic size football stadium. It is much bigger than our local football stadium. And imagine 12 Olympic size football fields. That is the size of 2 million square feet. It is India's largest warehouse of Flipkart, and it is situated at Harin Ghata, around 50 kilometers from Kolkata. So the size is around 2 million square feet, but the storage capacity is much more than that, 5 million cubic feet, because you have shelf there. It is futuristic, artificial intelligence enabled, sustainable, and safe. There they have automated storage and retrieval system, computer or robot control systems that can be utilized in warehousing industry to efficient storage and retrieve goods. Multi-tier shelving and cross-belt shutter also. This shutter means it sorts the products according to the weights and sizes. It has a spiral conveyor, intelligent inventory placement. That means it will place the inventory accordingly so that our material handling cost will be reduced. And the technology, 70% of the technology used in this warehouse is built in India. It helps to cut turnaround time, increases customer satisfaction, and reduces fatigues of workers. It is sustainable. They have water harvesting system, sewage treatment plant, solar panel, and EV charging points. Creation of technology-led modern warehousing infrastructure in the country. A sustainable facility combining the strength of companies do good for our people and planet. To create employment opportunities and promote entrepreneurship in Eastern India. It would help Flipkart compete with its competitors like Amazon, JioMart, Big Basket, which are also scaling up their infrastructure to tap the online retail market. So this you can see, India's largest warehouse. Then coming to introduction of warehouse. What is a warehouse? A warehouse is an intentionally designed space for storing goods to satisfy supply or demand. It is a planned space for the storage of semi-finished, finished, and raw materials. As inventory is divided mainly into three, you have raw materials inventory, work in process inventory, and finished goods inventory. Exactly like that, warehouse also is divided into three. Warehousing is the process of storage of products and material handling. Storage of products, and you have a lot of material handling is also required. The warehouse management system emphasizes preparing all the warehouse related activities in a manner that both the time and space of the warehouse can be optimized. So this is important, both the time and space is optimized. We can see here, this is the inbound terminal. That means all the incoming materials, they come here. So vehicles unload, they supervise and categorize the material. Then it move to storage here. This is bay for temporary storage. Then next it comes to area of, then it comes to storage, then it is to area of picking. This is you pick the orders according to the order, you pick the items, then it goes for final order. dispatch. And also you have cross docking. We'll see in the subsequent slide what is cross docking. This is supply chain and warehouse. We can see that supply chain, which deals with a smooth flow of goods and services, have an instrumental role of warehouses in their management. Here in this figure, you can see this is the manufacturing unit. Manufacturers, right? Manufacturers get raw materials and components from various suppliers. So suppliers, they supply to these manufacturers, right? And so material comes, raw material comes, then this is the transportation cost. So this is the material cost. So here you have material is converted from raw material to finished goods. So here you have WIP and finished goods. The output of manufacturing unit is finished goods. So this finished goods is distributed to customers, and in between we have some distribution centers or warehouses. So the storage process has also been referred to as transportation at 0 miles per hour. So this warehouse can also be called as transportation at 0 miles per hour, because we are here we are keeping materials, we are not transporting. So there are various activities associated with warehousing which do sizable value addition to the products. Hence, this should be carefully managed. The activities not only do value add to the product across supply chains, rather absorbs approximately 20% of farm's physical distribution cost. So 20% of farm's physical distribution cost is a significant figure. So that is why our aim is to reduce this cost. We have to manage this effectively and efficiently. There is a question that do we really need warehouse? If we don't have any warehouse, what is the problem? The answer might be, if you know the exact demand from the customer and you work in just in time, so you don't want inventory. But actually this is not. So warehouse is an intentionally designed inventory, but if the demand of any specific product is predictable and instantaneous supplies can be delivered, then what is the use of holding storage, which subsequently leads to holding inventory? Holding inventory means holding working capital, which increases the cost. So it is neither economic nor feasible to operate without storage, because production time can never be zero. Same with the transportation time also. So organizations must store for improving supply and demand coordination. So comes the need for warehousing and handling of materials. So warehousing some inventory can increase customer service at the front end. So at the front end, it increases customer service, and at the back end, it reduces production cost. So it is understood that enough warehousing can bridge the gap between the front end and back end of the supply chain. Front end you have customer, back end you have supplier. Then coming to objectives of warehousing, the main objective is minimize cost and maximize customer service. To do this efficient warehouse operations, perform the following: to provide timely customer service, keep the track of item quickly and correctly. We know the items, where it is, how many quantity, and where it is. Minimize the total physical effort, and so the cost of moving goods into and out of storage. It provides communication link with customer. If you give access to customer can know about your inventory and the transit position also, like our courier services, speed post. Warehouse cost can be broken down into two. One is capital cost and another is operating cost. What is capital cost? Are those of space and material handling equipment, because you are storing material and we have transportation in between, so that is material handling equipment inside the warehouse. So the space needed depends on the peak quantities, right? The capacity. So the peak quantities, so the space needed depends on the peak quantities that must be stored, the methods of store, the need for ancillary space for aisles, docks, offices, etc. Suppose take the example of a soft drinks manufacturing company, say Coca-Cola. So the size of the warehouse means, suppose in this summer season, say April, March, April, May and all, this is the peak season. So accordingly that you have to design the storage of the warehouse. Next is operating cost. Operating cost is divided into two. One is handling cost, another is storage cost. Handling cost, it includes labor and utility costs that are proportional to the annual flow through the warehouse. It is directly proportional to the movement of products annually. Then is storage cost. It involves inventory holding cost, which are proportional to average inventory level. If you see this figure is warehouse fixed cost as a function of warehouse capacity. Here you see capacity is 8 unit, 12 unit, 15 unit. So this is the cost, sorry. Warehouse size is 20 unit, 40, 60, 80, 100. So for 20 unit, cost is say 8 unit. Then 20 to 40, this is same. Then 40, it increases to 12 unit. Then again, it is same. Then again, 60, it increases here. And you have quantities in this axis, price in this axis. So fixed cost is same. If the quantity increases also, fixed cost is same. And variable cost increases. So total cost is your fixed cost plus variable cost, this. Now coming to warehouse activities. See, imagine this is the warehouse. Visualize this is the warehouse. This is the incoming materials. Incoming materials comes here, you receive the material. You receive and you check according to the invoice if the material is correct or not. If it is not correct, make a note. Then put away. This is one of the most important thing. You refer to this figure. You receive the materials, you put away means it is a systematic placement of incoming goods and products. It optimizes warehouse efficiency and ensuring smooth inventory management. That means what is your procedure? How you are keeping the inventory? Suppose imagine a medicine shop, chemist and druggist, they call medicine shop. There are some, they receive some medicines. So how they are keeping? Might be they are keeping according to alphabetically. If you see some medicine shop, alphabetically they will keep. Others might be some section wise. This is for cold and allergy. This is for antibiotics. This is for other vitamins and all. So this put away is important. It is a systematic placement of incoming goods. Next is storage. You store the item. Next, order comes, you pick. Suppose a single order, it has n number of items. So you pick, order picking, then sort and accumulate, check, and then shipping. Ship to the customer. So here in middle, you have some support functions. MIS, others, and all this is support functions. And this is a cross-dock. We'll see in cross-dock, they won't store the material. You receive the material, cross-dock, and send. We have a separate slide for cross-dock. We'll see what is that later on. Then warehouse activities. What are the activities? First is receive goods. Receive goods from outside transport or attached factory and accept responsibility for them. The objective is to get the material and accept the responsibility for them. This means it must check goods against an order. You have to check the items whether it is as per your order or not, because in subsequent times you cannot complain. Then check the quantities, whether it is according to the quantities or not. Check the damage and prepare a report if any. Inspect goods if required. Take the examples. Suppose we take groceries from Kirana store or some mall. Then what our mother used to do? Our mother used to check the item. They receive the item and check. That is the receive of goods. Then also she pick away the item, means where the storage and all. Next is identify the goods. Items are identified with correct part number and quantity received. You have to check the part number and all, and quantities. Then dispatch good to storage. Goods are sorted and put away to accordingly to the storage. Then you hold the good. Goods are kept in storage under protection until needed. Right? So here this is the goods received note. So here this is the purchase order numbers and all. You check the serial number, description, size, quantity and specifications. You check and sign it. Next is pick goods. It required items must be selected for storage and brought to a marshalling area. Then marshal the shipment. A marshalling area means it is a specific location within the warehouse where the inbound and outbound shipments are managed. The marshalling area is responsible for the coordination of all inbound and outbound shipments. Inbound is incoming, outbound is outgoing. This area is typically located near the loading docks to facilitate the efficient loading and unloading of trucks. So this is marshal the shipment. Next is dispatch the shipment. Orders here are packed, shipping documents are prepared, and goods loaded on the right vehicle. So this is the dispatch of vehicle. Then operate an information system. So record to be maintained, quantity on hand, what is your on hand quantity, quantity received, quantity issues, and location, the exact location in warehouse. To increase the efficiency of warehouse, we need to maximize use of space. Space utilization. Usually the largest capital cost is for space, because warehousing the significant cost is space cost. Here cubic space rather than floor space. If we remember the first slide, we have discussed this flip guard warehouse. The size is 2 million square feet, but volume of storage is 5 million cubic feet. Right? So this is the cubic space rather than floor space. Here you see there are many racks, vertical racks and that. So it increases the volume. Next is effective use of labor and equipment. Material handling equipment, you see this figure, these are all material handling equipments. Right? From you receive the material, you take to warehouse store, and then you for shipping and all, this is the material handling you have to do. And with this material, if you do material handling equipment, it will be easier. So material handling equipment represents the second largest capital cost and labor the largest operating cost. So there must be a trade-off between two, because if you procure sophisticated material handling cost, then your labor cost, manual labor cost will decrease. but there should be a trade-off. So labor cost reduced if more material handling equipments are used, but trade-off is important. So warehouse management will need to select the best mix of labor and equipment to maximize the overall productivity of the operations. Provide ready access to all stock keeping units should be easy to identify. Move goods efficiently. Next is warehouse classification on basis of sub-function. Inventory holding or storage and material handling are the two sub-functions of warehousing. So warehousing has two main sub-functions. One is to store, inventory holding, and then material handling. Both are important. The concept of material handling implies loading, unloading, and moving the goods to and from various locations as well as inside the warehouse premises. You see this figure, this is the one material handling equipment. So here material handling refers to the storage, control, protection and movement of products and materials throughout warehousing, consumption, manufacturing, disposal and distribution. So there are various factors to classify the warehouse, the classification of the warehouse, like type of ownership, type of functions it performs, etc. However, looking at the two sub-functions, that is this inventory holding, storage and material handling, the warehouse are classified. This is the classification of warehouse. One is storage space, another is material handling. Storage space you have holding, consolidation, break the bulk and mixing. These are the functions you do in storage space. In material handling, you have loading and unloading, then movement to and from storage space and order filling. Now we'll see all these types of warehouses. So first is storage space, holding functions. Okay. Holding. What is holding? To keep the items. You see, this is a huge warehouse, steel plant warehouse. You hold the materials. The holding functions of any warehouse refers to the organized holding of required inventory in a protected manner. So organized holding and in a protected manner. The time horizon and specific requirements of storage decide the location and layout of the warehouse. The goods store can be finished goods to meet the retailers or consumers' requirement. Might be semi-finished goods to be assembled as per order for furnitures and all, or raw materials to be used or transported by the manufacturer located nearby. For example, if you talk about a steel plant, they store raw material, it is called store. They keep the raw material in the warehouse, they don't call it as warehouse, they call it as store. Where the raw materials, that means store is the raw materials warehouse, they call it a store. And finished goods are kept in warehouses. And this WP, they are kept in the subfloor, because suppose there are n number of processes, the output of one process is the input of next process. So this is not it is not kept outside, it is kept inside the premises, inside the subfloor. Then consolidation. So what is consolidation? If products are coming from different suppliers or manufacturing points or sources, it is considered economic to have gathering point where all the products can be consolidated. Here, please refer to this picture. You have four manufacturers, A, B, C, D. So they supply material to the distribution warehouse. So here A, B, C, D, suppose this customer needs one item of each, A, 1B, 1C, 1D. So they consolidate this and it gives to, they supply to customer. So this is consolidation. The process of consolidation converts various small shipments into a larger one for lowering the overall transportation cost. This is followed when the buyers or destinations do not order sizable consignments from suppliers. Because this customer needs only one unit of A, one unit of B, one unit of C, one unit of D. If the truck from this manufacturer will directly goes to customer, then it won't be economical. So the warehouse following consolidation is known as distribution warehouse. So this is distribution warehouse. In the distribution warehouse, maximum space is allocated to temporary storage, but much attention is given to making the flow of products easily and speedily. Next is the cross-docking. Cross-docking means, suppose here you have, please refer to this figure. Here you have 4 suppliers, right? In 4 colors, 4 suppliers. Here you have 3 customers, right? So they have already this distribution center, it has the order of these 3 stores, right? So materials comes from various suppliers. It is unloaded here, and at that time some trucks will be there, so it won't go to the store directly. They will unload from this truck and load in this truck, right? It don't go to the storage, so it reduces a lot of time and effort, right? So this is cross-docking. So cross-docking is a lean supply. That means lean supply chain model that involves the immediate faster transfer of finished goods directly from supplier or manufacturer to customers or retailers with little to no handling or storage. That is, stopping a truck at a distribution center to put it on another truck without storing the inventory inside the warehouse. In most cases, finished goods are unloaded from the incoming transport from suppliers into the inbound dock, sorted and consolidated at the cross-docking terminal and promptly loaded to an outgoing vehicle. So this is the cross-docking area. This material comes in, cross-dock here and goes out to the customer. Next is breaking the bulk. This is opposite to consolidating, right? So here from one manufacturer, material comes to distribute, and these materials you break the bulk according to the order A, B, C, and you supply the material to A, B, and C. So at the warehouse, they are broken into small shipments and shipped to respective destinations. So such type of process is followed when tariffs for inbound logistics are less than the outbound for per unit. The order placed by customers are less than vehicle load, and the manufacturer to customer distance is too much. Such type of warehouse are located near to customer for bulk breaking operation. So these are nearer to customers. Next is mixing. Mixing means organizations purchase multiple parts from multiple sources to make the complete assembly of the products. So here you see manufacturer, 3 manufacturers, A, B, and C. They receive the corresponding materials, product A, product B, product C. So in these distribution houses, they mix the material. Here the A, B, C, they mix according to the order of this customer, and they supply it here, they supply it here. So this is the distribution warehouse for product mixing. So warehouses are utilized as mixing points for fulfilling the customer requirement. If customer orders are directly filled up from production points, in from of smaller size shipments, the cost of transportation would be very high. Next is material handling. So one is storage, another is material handling. This is the second sub-function of warehousing. So it takes place within the premises. It consists of three main activities. One is loading and unloading, then movement to and from the storage, and then order filling. You see, these are the material handling equipment used in warehouse. So first is loading and unloading. So use of appropriate equipment for handling. The process of unloading and use of suitable equipment should make sure that received goods are safely unloaded and stored at the respective shelf, because safely unloading is important and keeping the store is also important. At times, unloading and storage are clubbed together and considered a single length operation. So the second is movement to and from storage. So during the process of unloading and loading the consignment, goods move multiple times from one place to another place. For inbound consignment, first they are carried from the unloading point to the storing point, and from store space again to order picking area or shipping dock. So this process requires using several types of equipment for handling, which can be trucks with manual push and carts for stacking that can be fully automated or semi-automated. So you can see these are the material handling equipment, and mostly these are battery operated, because due to the pollutions and all, because inside the warehouse you cannot have petrol or diesel engines. Next is order filling. So this is the last process of material handling sub-function. So this process of order filling is one of the most vital materials handling activities, because orders with small volumes require huge labor and cost. Order with small volume but varieties of materials will be there. So you have to exactly put the material according to the customer need. This order filling is done either from bulk storage areas or dedicated areas to push the flow of orderly materials. Next, we'll see the types of warehouses according to the ownership. There are three types. One is private, one is public, one is rented. Private warehouse, public warehouse, and rented warehouse. Public warehouse, we have different types of public warehouse. First is commodity warehouse, then bulk storage warehouse, then temperature controlled warehouse for your foods and other non-veg items. Next is household goods warehouse. Next, general merchandise and mini warehouse. Now we'll see these different types of warehouse. First is private warehouse. Private warehouse is applicable to both products and services units by a sizable capital investment. So here your capital investment is huge, because for space and equipment for material handling. The purpose of this space is to keep a dedicated space for finished goods or a backroom of material supplies for fulfilling the requirements of customers. So there are some advantages of this private warehouse. The first one is cost effective in comparison to renting and leasing. Next is better control of operations in private warehouse. Next is specific attention in terms of inspection and equipment can be maintained in private warehouse. The warehouse property appreciates over a period, as land and all appreciates over a period. Next is alternative uses of the space, like a base place or a fleet of trucks, a sales department, purchase and traffic department. Next is public warehouse. It is in contrast to the private warehouse. So it provides a huge bundle of services to interest and hold customers at a reasonable cost. So due to the wide range of services of public warehouses, they are more standardized in terms of equipment's utility and space utilizations. So here the main advantage is the needy party doesn't require a fixed capital investment. So with less capital, you can store in public warehouse. You don't have to have your own warehouse. Public warehousing services are offered at a lower price in comparison to private warehousing services. The last one, since public warehouses offer services as per the need and defined time of requiring party, it becomes possible to change the warehouse location when the market needs change. Suppose you are giving rent in public warehouse, there are some problems or there are some problems in market, you can switch over because you don't have a fixed cost here. Next is classification of public warehouse. One is mass storage warehouse. So it offers handling as well as storage of goods like your all types of oils, syrups, highway salts, and chemicals in liquid form are stored in such warehouses. So here, along with storage, these warehouses offer services like mixing, bulk breaking, etc. These services also additional services they provide. Next is commodity warehouses. So here examples are like grain, cotton, tobacco, etc. Next, third one is household goods warehouses. They are specifically designed for stocking household goods or furniture. These are huge. This is mini warehouses, small warehouses. Here the size is 20 to 200 square feet. And the purpose here to attract needy clients for some space and services. Suppose a small client, he can use this mini warehouses. 20 as minimum as 20 square feet. Then merchandise warehouse. These warehouses are purposely used for a broad range of merchandise. Such types of warehouse require the least quantum of special facilities and handling equipment. Then temperature controlled warehouse. So here it is temperature is controlled. One of the most important categories of the public warehouse is temperature controlled warehouse, which are used to stock sensitive and perishable products. What are the products? Like your vegetables, fruits, frozen fruits, medicines, or non-veg items, etc. Now you see these your cauliflowers and cabbages and all. This is available throughout the year. Even some mangoes also, they are available off season. This is due to this warehouse and mainly this temperature controlled warehouse. And another thing is also in off season, if you buy some product, so the price is higher because supply is less, demand might be more. The last is rented warehouse. So if a firm is unable to own a warehouse due to the financial and other constraints, it is better to have a warehouse for rent. You take it in rent. Take the example of Tupperware, India. Tupperware, you might have known, this is they manufacture plastic products mainly for your kitchen equipments. And they are in quality wise, they are number one. And price is also very high because they use virgin plastics, raw materials to use these products. And this is very safe to use also. It has started, it is the MNC, it is the American company. It is founded in 1946 in Massachusetts. Founder is Earl Tupper, so that is why it is Tupperware. Products are preparation, storage, serving products for kitchen and home and beauty products. So mostly these kitchen products and all. So parent brand is Tupperware brand. So we are talking about Tupperware India. Tupperware India, it has manufacturing facilities in Dehradun. This is the Dehradun. These are the products of Tupperware. So let us look at the warehouses of Tupperware. Dehradun is the manufacturing unit, so there must be a warehouse because this is the hub, warehouse hub, where you manufacture the products and you have to store in the hub. So Dehradun is around here. It is in Uttarakhand. It is here, Uttarakhand. Next, they have a warehouse. They have 3 warehouses. One in Kolkata. In West Bengal, it caters to eastern part and the 7 sisters of northeast part from Calcutta. Because Calcutta, as you know, Calcutta has excellent infrastructure facilities, both roadways, railways, and airways. So that is why in our very fast discussions, this Flipkart, they have set up the Asia's largest warehouse near Kolkata. So one is Kolkata, next is Hyderabad. Hyderabad is here. So from Hyderabad, they cater to south as well as to west also. This is Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra also from Hyderabad. As we know from Hyderabad also, it has excellent infrastructure facilities. So Hyderabad, south and west. And Rewari, Haryana. Haryana is here, Haryana. From Rewari, they supply to the northern region. Why Rewari? Because if you see the Rewari, is the Haryana is famous, is the warehouse hub of India because it is close to our national capital NCR and the rates are comparatively cheaper, and it is close to also the Golden Quadrilateral, which will connect 4 major metros. So this is the location of warehouse of Tupperware. So what is warehouse location? The geographical place where any desired unit to manufacture products, deliver services or stock products is situated. The location for any specific purpose is chosen after evaluating several factors. So manufacturing or service units location selection is a one-time decision based on behalf of certain predefined factors, but warehouse location decisions keeps changing as per the requirement of the market. So this is an important point, that plant location is one-time affair. It is difficult to change the location of the plant once it is set up. But warehouse decision keeps changing according to the demand or all. Next is, the best example is Rewari. Now people are coming to Rewari for warehouses. Last one is, selecting a suitable warehouse location is a 2-step process, where the first step determines where the warehouse is to be located, location of the warehouse, and the second step decides which product is to be stored at which place in the warehouse. That is the layout type of thing. So first is the location, then layout. Warehouse location, it may need to shifted over to period after evaluating various factors like market demand, operating expenses, probability of infrastructural expansions and all. So these are the reasons for shifting one warehouse to other. Product storage inside warehouse is also assessed for various matters of concern like optimal utilization of storage space, ease of handling, the convenience of order filling, and safety of products. For example, if your product is perishable, then as per the date of the expiring, the shelf location need to be altered. You see, suppose you go to a kirana store or a small mall or a big mall, you find some fruit juice. Suppose this is February. Suppose they have two lots. One is January lot, the other is last month's November lots. You find in the front is November 2023 lot, and उसका पीछे जो होगा जो मतलब last month, right? So this is for perishable. As per the date of expiring, the shelf location need to be altered. Choosing a warehouse, we have to ask several questions. Where should a warehouse be positioned, and what is the exact size of it? Capacity of the warehouse. Which demand or market location should get associated with which warehouse? Means the allocation of areas and all. What are the products to be stored in which warehouse at what location? Next, should the location of products be fixed or keep changing inside the warehouse? Then conditions for warehouse location. One is geographic and infrastructure conditions. Next is the natural resources and availability of the labor. Then is the local industry and tax regulations, public interest. So as a result, only a limited number of locations would meet all the requirements. So you decide the exact location of the warehouse. So reasons for changing location of warehouse. One is saving cost. Being close to the material suppliers or prospective customers saves the cost of transportation for manufacturers and service providers, retailer. Right? Suppose you want to reduce the inward transportation cost. That means from supplier, if the inward transportation cost is significant, then you place your warehouse close to the supplier. If you want to significantly reduce the outward transportation cost, then you set up your warehouse close to the market or close to the customer. So it will save your cost. Expansion. Whenever our organizations wish to expand their product line or need to stock larger size of consignments, you need another warehouse. Then consolidation, shutting down the multiple regional centers to convert them into a central warehouse. So this decision is applicable when the cost of transportation to different location trades off the cost of administration and centralization. If you remember our last class we have discussed the purchasing, the shifting in purchasing, this LAL path labs. So this is the case. Next is performance improvement. At times it is difficult to accommodate the technological advancement or other modern of facilities in the old building. So you have to have new building. So factors to be considered before relocating: availability of and impact of the workforce. Next is cost of the real estate. Like we have seen in Haryana, the costs are comparatively lower compared to your Delhi's and all. So cost of real estate. Sometimes government also, they have some special economic zone and all. They support these industries and all. Impact of political, economic and environmental factors. Next is availability and connectivity of transport models and stations. Next is availability of immediate partners like suppliers of raw materials, distributors, or prospective customers. Next is your operating zone. Next is our warehouse layout. One is location, another is layout. Warehouse location means where to locate the warehouse, exact position. It is like suppose we want to purchase we want to construct a house. So first thing is house location. Where to locate means where to buy, whether it is in the town area or outskirts. Because town area, your rate is higher. Outskirts, the rate is comparatively less. So you can have a greater patch. Then next, if you buy this property, then is your layout, means planning. Like our planning in the house. So here also warehouse planning. That means the all the layout components and all, we'll see. The layout is defined as an arrangement of man, material, and machines in any premises for smooth movement of all resources with minimum spoilage and wastage. So this is the arrangement of man, material, and machines. The layout of any unit affects the productivity of the organizations. The interior layout of the warehouse must be designed keeping all the desired activities to be performed: size of warehouse, aisles, space for smooth flow of handling instruments, etc. The storage warehouse layout will be different from the distribution layout, because here the objective is different: storage warehouse and distribution warehouse. So layout of the warehouse should be decided after considering the following points in mind. So what are the points? First is minimization of capital and operational cost. Next is dimensions of the warehouse. What is the height, width, and length of the warehouse? The height is also important, right? We have seen 2 unit area but 6 unit storage capacity. Next is ease of storing and moving the goods to and from the storage. This is the most important point. The material handling equipment has to transit in a smooth way. There should not be any accidents. Ease of material handling equipment like forklift, crane, etc. So here convenience also important, safety also important, because for cranes and all you need safe working environment. And next is safety of manpower and material stock. The last one is possibility of alternations in current layout and uplifting technical infrastructure in future. As we have seen in Flipkart warehouse, it is a modern warehouse. You have all these drones, robots, and all artificial intelligence. It is utilized there. This is the storage versus distribution warehouse. So this is the layout for long-term storage or holding items. B is layout for short-term storage or mixing, also called distribution warehouse. So this is holding warehouse, this is distribution warehouse. So holding warehouse, this is the semi-permanent storage or bay. This is the product. So inbound and outbound. So here main purpose is to store the item. But here in distribution warehouse, you mix. So product is here, inbound is here, right? So order picking and product mix, you have to pick the order and mix all these things, and this is the outbound. So the layout varies. Accordingly, the layout varies according to the characteristics. Then coming to another example, Flipkart. Flipkart is a company which it is a part of Cummins company situated in US, and the Flipkart, they manufactures filters, mainly the diesel filters. They manufacture diesel filters for vehicles and of the road vehicles also, and they are OE to almost all OEMs. Those who, it is not OE for Maruti, because Maruti is mainly having petrol engines and all. So it is established in India in 1987. Now it is India's largest filter manufacturing unit for diesel engines, and its manufacturing plant is at Pune. Pune is in Maharashtra, right? Pune. Okay. As we know, the Flipkart, it is a tier 1 supplier of OE supplier. It supplies directly to the OEM like Tata, Ashok Leyland and all, and then to the replacement market. So for OEM, they have a warehouse at Jamshedpur because Tata Motors is at Jamshedpur. They have also at warehouse at Lucknow, Pune. They have a manufacturing unit and warehouse Uttarakhand, and Hosur for Ashok Leyland. Ashok Leyland company is for Hosur. Then for aftermarket, that is for a replacement market, they have their warehouses at Pune because it is their plant. So they have their warehouses for Pune, Jamshedpur, Nagpur, Farrukhnagar and Dharwad. Next, coming to steel plant, SAIL, Steel Authority of India Limited. Take for example, Durgapur Steel Plant. It is set up in the late 50s and it is a leading producer of long products and is the pioneer of manufacturing and supply of forged railway wheels and axles in the country. The finished product is TMT bars, medium structural, beams, angle channels, joist, axle wheels, etc. So here there are mainly two types of warehouse. One is store, where they store the raw material. So raw material warehouse, they call it as store, and finished goods warehouses, and all the WIP they keep in the store. So they have, in fact, all the cells, these 5 integrated steel plants, they have CMO, Central Marketing Organizations. So this is the picture, right? So here they have 5 integrated steel plant, and you see in all states at least one marketing unit, at least one warehouses. In Dankuni also near Kolkata they have warehouses. So they have central marketing organizations for all sales for these 5 integrated steel plants. Next is Big Basket. So you might have heard about Big Basket recently. Big Basket is Indian online grocer, headquarters in Bangalore and owned by Tata Digital. It is set up in 2011. It operates in more than 30 cities in India and rapidly expanding, and processes around 15 million orders per month. The products, it offers 10 of thousands of different products, including fruits, vegetables, meat, spices, toiletries, baby products, and pet foods. The delivery time is 30 minutes to 4 hours. They are telling, but in some cases you get more than before 10 minutes also, within 10 minutes also you get. It has numerous small warehouses in some selected cities, around 40, within radius of 2 to 3 kilometers. So what is the procedure? Suppose customer orders some items. So the order goes to the nearest store pick. It goes to the nearest store, they pick the items and they assemble, which takes around 2.5 minutes for order picking and assembly. Next is billing. Billing is 2 or 2.5 minutes. Then is shipment by delivery partner. So this delivery partner, this delivery boy, generally they takes 40 rupees per order, right? So they are claiming from 30 minutes to 4 hours, but some people also they are getting before 30 minutes. So this is the end of unit 10. Thank you for attending the classes.